good evening, sir. This is Mr. Warren Banez. We are going to ask him about his education in DLSU. So, sir, what is your educational background?
I graduated in 1979 with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Industrial Management Engineering, minor in Mechanical Engineering. That was, I think they changed the name of the course presently, but that was how the course was termed during my time, 33 years ago.
Wow. So, why did you decide to study in DLSU?
For one main reason is I was a product of LaSalle Griffiths High School, year 1974. So probably 80% of us graduates went to LaSalle Town.
Okay. So, how did you decide on your career in engineering?
At that time, a lot of industries were being constructed or being transferred from the industrialized nation to Asia. So there was a demand for industrial engineers at that time. So we tried to say supply that demand. Because we have one major, the big industries were coming into the country because we have one major advantage with other countries. We can speak fluent English.
Okay, so in any way, did your LaSalle education help you determine what you wanted to do after college, after graduation?
Yes, they at the time there were classes, religious classes where we were mixed with society, or let us say the underprivileged. So we had some sort of contacts, or we had some social classes where we had to do some work, or it's called, if I remember correctly, it's like a social integration class where we go to one community and do some, or share our knowledge, or work with the it's not really, at that time it was not called outreach. It was working with the leaders, community leaders, with some of the engineering works like pathways, walling, retaining riprapes in creeks.
So, were there any challenges and problems that you encountered in DLSU, and did these help you become a better person?
Challenges, well, the academic requirements was one of the toughest at that time, and there were no excuses. Some of the heads were the religious brothers, or departmental heads at that time. There were no, if you don't make the cut, you find yourself kicked out. So
strict.
it was, yes, it was very strict at that time. even in, we can start with high schools, most of the principals were still the religious brothers at the time. Now I think the civilian uh, teachers are now heading the office of the principals.
Well, yes, actually.
Only the president is a religious brother. During our time, the president, the principals
They're all grown.
of the school are all brothers.
So, what do you think sets the LSU apart from other universities?
Well, what do I think that sets it apart? One is, well, the academic requirements is sets it apart. There's no excuses. That's one thing. It's a tough school. The teachers are good, and the requirements
Hard
to
meet.
pass is tough.
So, yun yung main challenge.
Well, and added to that, during our time, there was calculators were just coming up. We had to use the old slide rules. There were no iPads or you're really lucky if you have a calculator that adds, subtracts, and divide. At that time, it was an expensive.
Manual.
No, not manual. We use a slide rule.
Ah.
That was a requirement. We used to carry that around.
Oh, wow. So, in all these years, like, how would you define success?
Success. I don't think there is really a definition for success. In terms of monetary terms, a lot of people say it's monetary terms. I don't think it's that. It's it's like sharing your knowledge with other people is more of a better definition of success if you have something to share with others rather than having something in your pocket or in your bank account. It's success is you have something to share to other people. And if I remember correctly, one of our philosophy professor said, you cannot share something if you don't study. You have to study first, then you can share your knowledge.
So our last question, what is your message for undergraduate students and especially those who are undecided with what they plan to take or plan to do after graduation?
One is, don't waste time. Time is common to everybody. Everybody has the same 24 hours. So it's how you use your time. You can be one of the best psychologists or engineer, but you cannot be the best if you don't use your time wisely.
Thank you, sir, for your time.
Okay.